Manchester, UK. Brief videos of time.
So this is our first proper visit to Heaton Park. Yet it is too busy and noisy today. Plus the weather's not been too great. So I'm getting hit by noise from the wind, and also rain can hit at any point. So anyway, onwards as usual, we'll carry on. So I'm not going to film the whole site today, I'm just going to film, well, firstly there's the neoclassic mansion. This was completed around the year 1789 AD. The park was privately owned. It was often been used for events, so we've always held events in this area. Heaton Park races, they still have running events for charity in the modern day, but they used to even have horse racing as well as human racing in there. So the races were established, I think, in like for entertainment in 1827. That'd be like the second Earl. Most of the structures within the park are Grade 2 listed. That includes this spectacular observatory for looking at the stars and planets, etc. But also to look at Manchester. That's a bit of a joke, but it actually is, because it's at a high point in the area, one of the highest points in this area. They still have an astronomic society. Is to actually view from this place. It's actually called the Temple, and it's under restoration at the moment. Nearby, we can get a glimpse of, this is a dower house. This was finished in 1803. Quite posh. You'll know the dower house when you see it. On most estates in the British Isles, a large home is built basically on the grounds. It's a widow's annex, really. The dowager, or the dowager, is classed as the wife of the husband of the house, or the head of the house, once he is deceased. So the wife of the husband. See how much things have changed. My father actually passed away when I was quite young, and I couldn't imagine, saying to my mum, you have to leave, like stay in the shed in the garden. So that just shows you the two different worlds, in, over a 300-year period. And obviously there's great wealth involved. But the master was the male, which we all know now is a thing of the past. I just found that quite amusing to put it, in that subtext. Anyway, so once the man's deceased, the heir became the bachelor of the manor, or the bachelor to be married, or if he was already married, the whole family would then take over the main house. But so the divorce, not the divorce, the widow, maybe you were divorced, maybe you had if you were separated, it might occur that the person stayed on the land in that respect as well. It might be a place where someone went if they were drinking too much, maybe, I don't know. But it's mainly a house built for the widow. Basically gets shoved out. Thankfully, this one that's here, so always ever been a beekeeping facility, and it still is. Also there's a farm and stables and vegetable kitchen garden. It used to have a little miniature zoo. I think when I was young it had like a wolf pack in the middle of the zoo, and it was like, you know, an iron fenced area in the middle of the park. I also had like an outdoor paddling pool. It was pretty fun. I think it was like well known in this area in its day, you know, for the children. But in the summer, just an open paddling pool with a stream flowed into it. It was a bit slippy if I remember, but it was quite fun, quite clean. As I say, it's busy today. It usually is. So, brief videos of time and brief views of the things that we've seen and I'm talking about. So the stable house, you've probably noticed, there's people there. It's a stable and farm. The tower, communications tower, keeps popping into view. The stables are 1777. Oh, the house was 1775. So it's obviously the stables for the horse and carriage. I think I remember seeing the carriage when I was young. They had it in like the museum. I'm not sure if it's still there. Yeah, so it's like it's got some old artifacts from the 1700s. So it's a cool little house, really, isn't it? So, you know, it's almost like I don't really notice it, but I get into things as I actually say it. So it's neoclassic, and it's actually a mansion. Yeah, so completed around the year 1789 AD, as I said. One day we get better weather, and I'll get here on a weekday, and we'll get the whole estate, including the tram. It's got an example of track and trams from like 1913 era. They covered all of Greater Manchester, the old town. There's something to do with the town hall of Manchester in this area, but we'll discuss it all another time. We'll go into it all. The stables is now a classroom for history lessons. I rarely say this, but I actually do like that. I think it's it's just a really cool building. I think the architecture in it, and it's just great. I love that little stable. Anyway, I always looked at it and thought that's really cool, and it's just the way it should be, if that makes sense. It just looks dated at the right time. It's like looks posh, but it also looks like a stable. Anyway, if that makes sense. I'm not sure to anybody. Yeah, so on the estate there's a full working tram. So we'll get a look at that to do with the LYR system, which was on other playlists. I would say other playlists, but it's all about the north of Manchester, and it eventually will all link together. I'm about to go over to the 13 Arches Viaduct. That's part of today as well, which is a lifetime ambition, sad as that sounds, but that's in another playlist. The tower, you will notice, 238 feet tall, built in the 1960s. It's radio relay information. It's from London and built in the 1960s. It's radio relay information. It's from London and Birmingham. British Telecom fitted the three, so they all link together. BBC Television also used to use it. The land has been leased for 99 years, and it also has a function for the military. It's part of an atomic warning system, part of Trident's early ancestry, along with top secret military nuclear bunker. Is situated under the granite-lined reservoir. Please excuse the fence, by the way. It's still a good view. On the far side is the pumping station that draws water from Bury's Woodgate Hill Service Reservoir. 1894, 92-mile long system was installed with a 52-mile long aqueduct. A network of pipes and tunnels from Thirlmere in the Lake District, part of the Lake District in the Windermere, called the Windermere Lake System. It's all part of the same thing. The Lake District, it's, as I say, 92 miles of piping. That to me is amazing. It requires no pumps, although it does have pumps. We can't see the pump from here. The pump house is on the far side of the lake, so it is sort of shadowed by the fact that we can see the actual flow of water instead, because it's empty, it's been drained, so that's good. We can see how it's built, we can see the granite walls. The flow is around 227 million litres per day flow through here naturally. It's actually been upgraded, so it flows to Liverpool and can be pumped back from Liverpool, etc, etc, because it's all downhill from here to the sea. But relative to us, I'm going to just get this in quick if I can, if I've got enough time, but relativity relates to Albert Einstein. But to me, I can explain relativity very quickly in a way that might make sense to people. So to the north of here is Bury, where I live at the moment, but I'm from Bury and from Manchester. I'm actually born in this area where I am. So to a person in Bury, this reservoir is low down, but to the north of Manchester, this is the highest point. So if you're a Mancunian in Manchester, this is the highest reservoir. If you're in Bury, this is low to us, and it's, we didn't see it as linked to us in any way, but it is. The Manchester and Bury border actually goes right through the edge of this reservoir, which marks this as the highest point in Manchester. So as a Mancunian, relativity sees this as North Manchester, hence the observatory and the tower high up for Manchester. Also, all the water flows into Manchester from all directions. So I suspect it's like an ancient asteroid impact or a crater from a volcano or something in this area. So that's why it's the perfect bowl and everything flows down. So anyway, this is the highest reservoir in Manchester proper. So it's relative in its place. So is the Bury underground reservoir, because it's north of here and it's higher up, but it's lower than the Cumbrian Lake District. So it's actually an ancient method of siphons and aqueducts used by the whole ancient world, which is still functioning today. This was a place called Toodle Hill. It was hollowed out to basically down to the stone and lined with granite on the sides. Just show the outlet for the overflow.
And I think I've got a bit lower wind here. This is an underground reservoir sited next to the main one. And there's some of the older part of the structure.
This water can be pumped around the city to people's homes, anywhere. Notice the green tanks are part of the pump station, which is an old pump station. And we're near St Margaret's, which is an old church in the area. So thanks for watching, Manchester. Peace out.
Should we pop down?